everybody, it's Calxiyn here, and today we are going to be talking about a theory that Aarron had. He is one of our patrons, if you guys don't know. $10 patrons get to request 3 videos a month, and he's a $100 patron, so do your math and figure out how many videos he gets to request for us. This is about Ironwood being Penny's father, which I think has been going around a lot.
Well, then it's also like, okay. I mean,
but speaking of robots, I kind of wanted to show you guys something. So if you guys watched our last theory video, Hunter and I joked around that we're just Google's most complex AI.
That was annoying, so they gave it a YouTube.
So I want to show you guys something, okay? Google Assistant, what is RWBY?
Check out these results, starting with one from Google.
Oh god, you're not gonna read it to me? Alright, you have to say RWBY in Google Assistant or it won't read it as Ruby. So if I say Google Assistant, what is Ruby?
Here are the top results, starting with one from Google.
Yeah, so it doesn't do it, which is pretty sad. Last time it read it to me. I don't know why it won't read it to me this time. Come on now. But I think it's learning. That's the thing. Because it knows now when I say Ruby, I mean RWBY.
Okay.
And so,
it
like...
It would be rough if, like, you actually wanted to know RUBY and not RWBY?
Yeah. Because, like, before, it was like, Ruby is a color, and I was just like, yes?
Is a
but
gemstone.
No. But now now it's starting to understand what I'm looking for when I tell it that. That's a little scary. And we are talking about robots today since we're talking about Penny. So I just kind of wanted to do that, but it's kind of a fail because it didn't read it to me again. I guess it just figured that I can read now. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so let's talk about Ironwood. The only problem I have with this theory is that we see a man grip a seat with the white hair, and, like, people assume that that was Penny's father. Like, that's my one
Who is that
issue.
dude?
Who is that dude?
I also love how it's almost like it's been 2 seasons, like it's been it's been a time since that little snippet and nothing. Like,
here's
presumably when you go to
I think that they can both be her dad. Let me explain.
Because it's 2018 and 2 men can have a child. High five. Fight the resistance. Show resistance.
Alright, that's not what I meant. So, what I meant is that the guy in the white hair is who built her, right? He cares about her because that used to be his daughter and they put her in the suit, right? We talked about this, like in a different video probably years ago at this point, right? Probably 2 years ago now. That Penny used to be a real girl and then they put her body in the thing, or they put her aura in a suit because they wanted to keep her alive and she was dying or something, right? We talked about that, right? So
and
he is her...
Ironwood would be gay,
he
or
is,
maybe bi,
no. He is her biological father,
He's
the white hair.
biological father.
No, the white-haired guy. And so what Ironwood's role is another parental figure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say, is that the guy in the white hair is her father, right? He's her biological father. He built the robot. He took care of Penny when she was a human girl and got, like, transfused into the suit.
Is her soul was, like, uplinked
Yeah,
to the
I
suit.
guess so, right? This is some
But
Five Nights at
it
Freddy's
wasn't
bullshit,
Penny.
right?
It wasn't Penny, and that's why the creator couldn't stand to be around her.
Maybe.
So Penny went off with Ironwood.
Yeah, and so I feel like Ironwood, here's where Ironwood dad comes in, right? Yes. This is also comparative to, say, Ellie from Life is Strange. Ellie from The Last of Us, right? Joel isn't her father.
Different video games with lesbians, Cal.
Like, Joel, like, is, I guess it's the reverse, right? Because Joel had a real daughter, and then he has Ellie, right? So, Penny had a real dad, and then she has Ironwood. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's more like that...
Father.
He's a father figure, or he takes care of her, right? Because, you know, he says, like, General Ironwood doesn't want you out alone, right? So obviously Ironwood cares, like, to some extent, you know what I mean? So I understand what Aarron means, and I think that it is a good idea. I think that they should both be, like, her dad. Like, Ironwood could be like, I cared about her too. You know? Like, that would be very sweet. No, dear. Hunter, you're getting your ass kicked.
No, but now I'm gonna kick off.
Alright. Anyways, so that's kind of how I see things. Does that make sense? You should move out of the way before he comes down like that, because, like, he just comes in and kicks you every time.
Listen, I'm probably gonna lose this one, don't worry about it.
Anyway, so you understand what I'm saying? Like, that Ironwood could be her dad, but not her dad. Like, because he's the one who brought her there to He's the one who brought her there to Vale in the Vital Festival, I should say, right? So I'm sure he cared about her in some regard, and so maybe Ruby could bring it up, and then Ironwood could sort of be like, yeah, I cared about Penny too, but we can't bring her back. We can only, you know, move forward, right? Something like that, right?
Also, how do you
and
feel
show
about...
a more caring side of Ironwood, because Ironwood's been like, all you fucks in Atlas, you're all crazy, right? Like, yeah. And maybe after that happens, after Penny dies, he has, like, some qualms. You know what I mean? Because we talk about our AI gonna be considered as people, even if they're not considered as human, like, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, we constantly sort of debate that in society, so to speak, right? And that's, like, a thing, right?
Constantly?
And so...
I don't know what your day-to-day conversations are like, Kyle. I don't know if I would describe...
Let's say recently instead of constantly, right? But the idea...
There's been popular discussion about...
Yeah, like, it's a philosophical debate, so to speak, right? Because if it can think for itself, is it a person? Like, if it learns, you know, all that. So maybe Ironwood could be like, at first I saw Penny as just another robot, but I learned that she... You know, she was more than that.
I have many robots in my life. It's a thing that I just have.
You know what I mean? Like, if Penny is Penny less human than me or than you? Like, I'm part robot, you know what I mean? Like, he could have that sort of contemplation to himself, and that's why he's kind of being a hard ass lately, because he has regrets about how he treated her or whatever. You understand what I mean? I feel like that would be super interesting. Right?
I would like that. That would be interesting.
Because he could be like, sort of like, you know, like, Penny may have been, like, just parts, but she still had an aura, she still had a soul, and I'm just parts, too. How much more of me can they replace? Or it could be that, like, people are heartless without being robots. You know what I mean? And Penny had a heart. You know, some edgy thing like that. I feel like that would be good, though, for him to be sort of, like, with all the evil in the world, like, something like that.
Penny was a good being.
Yeah. Or even, like, there are so many evil people that are regularly human, and this, you know, Penny may have not been human, but she had more humanity. That would be a good line. That's a good line. She wasn't human, but she had more humanity. That would be
a good, like, I'm talking to you, Emerald, or whoever's the bad guy we're talking to right now.
Anyway, take it, Rooster Teeth, I'm giving it to you, you know? Nobody watches my videos, they're not gonna know that it was me, right? So I feel like that would be fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that he's her actual father just because of the white-haired guy, but, like...
Imagine if they had... But also...
What if the white-haired guy, like... where is he? Like, what if they just forget him?
If it's Atlas, I'm assuming that when they go to Atlas, or as they're going to Atlas, they'll see more of him. Mm-hmm. But until that point, it doesn't
I'd
look
also
like
really like...
Geppetto.
I'd really like him to remake Penny and then realize she's not the same.
Or, like, I kind of like the idea that, like, I had a child... Like, that's not the... You don't, like, you made Penny? I know Penny, she's my friend. And, like, you didn't know the real Penny. The real Penny was my daughter, and then...
Oh,
like,
you mean with Geppetto.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about Ironwood. Ironwood could make another robot like that and then realize, like, it's not the same.
I've
like,
seen
we can't
people do,
like
mini fanfiction.
This reminds me of Five Nights at Freddy's. I know that that's bad. Continue, though, Hunter.
I've seen stuff where they made, like, little mini, like, idea fanfictions where it's just, like, Ruby's an Atlas and sees Penny, and so she runs up to Penny, and then a bunch of Atlas guards are like, stop, and like, fuck you, it's my friend. And
Penny's like, who?
And she runs up to it, just like, Penny, it's you. It's like, hello, friend. It's like, it's me, Ruby. Hello, or I don't know how, because I can't write for Ruby, or I can't write for Penny, because I would just be like, I'm reflecting information you just gave me back at you. But I imagine it just sort of like, hello, person, like, but all this time and veil and all this stuff, I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like,
well, yeah, I've seen a lot of that, too.
Cry. Like, something like that.
Yeah, you're quoting verbatim, basically, this comic that came out a couple... Yeah,
okay, that's what I was thinking of.
Like,
don't cry.
But yeah.
Don't have leaky eyes, human.
Human? Why are you like...
Cool, why?
Okay. But yeah, I don't know, I just feel like something like that would be relevant, that Ironwood remakes Penny or he makes another robot, and then he's like, this is morally incorrect, like, this is the philosophical debate of the century right here, and Ironwood's just slowly, because the whole point is that Leo used to be brave and he became a coward. They could do that. The Tin Man was supposed to be heartless, but Ironwood grew a heart.
Oh.
Right?
That's a sweet. Cal, you just stumbled on that. Look at
No,
you.
I didn't. Like, it's pretty basic. Like, it's the entire thing in The Wizard of Oz. Anyway.
Grew a heart.
Whatever. Anyway, I guess if you guys enjoyed this video, you guys should request us to do videos. I'm pretty sure all of this week would be all Patreon requested in terms of Ruby content, so I hope that y'all enjoyed that. And we will see you later. Bye, guys.